Hi there, my name is FixFox, and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition. We just completed the Roland campaign, and we are now on to the Archibald campaign. But I want to preface this Archibald campaign by saying this. We ended the Roland campaign with a scenario in which we ran across a Sphinx. In Heroes of Might and Magic 2, the Sphinxes will give you a riddle. If you guess correctly, you walk away with a large sum of gold. But if you guess incorrectly, you don't walk away at all. So, the riddle was pretty simple, I thought. We had two choices. The riddle asked us, who is the true king? Roland or Archibald? Well, of course, because I was with Roland, I chose my lord and liege, the person who, it seemed to me, had been forced out and was supposed to be the true and rightful king, and all the campaign was just me returning him to his place of prominence and glory that was so unjustly usurped from him. But the Sphinx did not like that answer, and I did not walk away from it. So I came back a second time with another hero, and instead of putting Roland down as the true king, I said Archibald, and I walked away with a healthy sum of gold. This begs the question, was the Sphinx incorrect? Was the Sphinx lying? Or is there more to the story that we just haven't found out yet? Good question. Good question. Perhaps we have not given Archibald his fair shake. Perhaps there's more to this story to be told. And so we need to dive into the Archibald campaign with that in mind. So we are going to go here and we're going to click on New Game. We're going to go to Campaign, Original Campaign. And from here we are going to watch the original intro before we start up the Archibald intro.
The troubles all began 3 years ago, with the passing of the old king, Lord Ironfist. The king left 2 sons. Roland was good, kindly, and honorable, while Archibald was not so good. Traditionally, the choice of the heir falls to the royal seer, but he died in a tragic boating accident. His successor's luck was no better, with Frederick falling out of a window, Robert slain by a dragon, and Johann dying of food poisoning. Archibald accused Roland of murdering the seers, and issued a proclamation against Roland. Fearing for his life, Roland fled the place for his castle in the west. With Roland gone, Archibald was able to influence the new royal seer's decision. The seer chose Archibald, and Archibald crowned himself king the next day. And so the war for succession began. Choose your lord.
Okay, so last time we chose Roland, this time we are going to choose Archibald. But to my point made earlier, is King Archibald, is he really a Snidely Whiplash level of villain? Is he so maniacal that he is actually tying women to railroad tracks, that he is actually bumping off seer after seer after seer in less or more and more obvious ways, kind of a deal? The picture we have been painted so far would indicate that clearly Archibald is the bad guy, but it seems a little too on the nose. I know I'm playing devil's advocate, but maybe, just maybe, Roland knew that all signs would point to Archibald, and Roland was actually the one who was setting himself up to look like the legitimate and true king. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm just saying. So let's dive right on into the Archibald campaign. Let's pick this and let's see where the story goes.
Thank you for choosing to serve me. You will find I can be a very generous lord to vassals who remain faithful, which is more than I can say for the cowardly lords who refuse to take the oath from me. I am king, not Roland. No one can stand before me and refuse to serve. Go. I have allocated a sum of gold for the purpose of making an example of the lords closest to my castle. Crush them, and report back to me by means of the magical amulet I have sent you.
Okay. So that tells us just about everything that we need to know. This scenario will mirror very, very closely the scenario and the campaign that Roland started off with as well. Scenario 1, First Blood. King Archibald requires you to defeat the 3 enemies in this region. They are not allied with one another, so they will spend most of their energy fighting amongst themselves. You will win when you own all of the enemy castles and there are no more heroes left to fight. So we're going to start with our choice of either 2,000 gold, a mage's ring, which will be the artifact that will increase our power by 2, or the minor scroll artifact that will increase our knowledge by 2. I am going to start off with the minor scroll. I will go with the old adage of knowledge over spell power, especially in the early levels. More spells, more availability is always better. To make sure that we're all on the same page here, I am going to pick up right where I left off from the final scenario in the Roland campaign. I will assume that you have been with me to this point and that you do not need any kind of refresher. If you do need a refresher, or if this is the first time that you've come to Heroes of Might and Magic 2, or if you're brand new to the genre entirely, I highly advise you that you check out my very first video, which is the Roland Campaign Scenario 1. Otherwise, we are just going to dive right into it. I'm not going to spend the time to explain every little detail. Though I wish I could, I would like to get through these campaign scenarios fairly quickly and not 3 hours at a time because I'm explaining every little bit. So with that being said, let's hit the difficulty. Let's go to hard, and then let's dive right in. You face 3 opponents in this scenario. Capture their castles and their heroes to prove your worthiness to Archibald. Wonderful. Our dear friend Sandro the Necromancer is our starting hero. We got basic necromancy, basic wisdom, the minor scroll of knowledge. I could care less about the zombies and the skeletons, but we'll see what we got. Archers early. Necromancers are pretty bad early game against shooters. So I'm a little bit concerned about that, especially since that looks like my sawmill. I do have skeletons I can buy. I can buy the zombies. I'm not thrilled, but I'll take what I can get. I should probably consider, do I get more ground troops, like actually hardy ground troops with the mummies, or do I get the first level mage guild? I'm guessing that I should probably get the first level mage guild, just because if I get like a magic arrow, I think that can help me out more than the early mummies can. Mummies are great. I got no problem with them, especially when I have 2 really weak stacks of troops, but I'll take what I can get. Haste, view resources, cure. Haste is really poor for this mage guild because all necromancers start out with haste anyway. So that's absolutely wasted. Well, and cure is pretty bad too. Wow, and view resources. What a bad mage guild. I rolled the dice, folks, and I lost. We are going to cast the view resources. We might as well. Looks like we've got some action. Let's see. If this grouping is going to tell me anything, I would expect an enemy castle in the 12 o'clock position, maybe an enemy in the 5 o'clock position, then someone in the 7 o'clock position. I guess we will see. I will cast view resources in 1 or 2 turns, and if these little groups of resources have been depleted, we will know for in fact that the enemy is situated in that general area. We'll take the experience. I will absolutely take logistics. I feel like archery is pretty bad on necromancers, especially because early on you don't have any shooters. You got to get to your fifth level creature in order to get any kind of shooters or get any value out of that archery. So I'm not going to worry about that. I probably should have moved these troops over early. I was a little over enthusiastic. Oops. But we'll send Zom the other way. He'll clear out to the left and Sandro will clear out to the right. That is not a lot of experience, but it will give me another level. How much am I going to need gold this game? Difficult to say. I will take the gold though, just out of principle. Rarely does it feel like a good idea to pay 1,000 gold for 500 experience points. And that's ultimately what you are doing when you come across these treasure chests. In this case, that feels better. 1,500 gold for 1,000 experience. That just like feels like a better ratio. I am going to take the gold here because it's Zom. I might as well just run 1 hero this scenario. I feel like running 1 hero will be better for me. Now this is an interesting choice. Do I get the mausoleum early? Generally, I prefer to use the vampires, especially if I can get them up to vampire lords. It looks like I'm going to have plenty of resources. But I will have to invest in a thieves guild and a pyramid if I go the mansion route. Perhaps just to get some early troops on the board, I will go with the liches. Some early shooters can't hurt. Pick up the magic garden. I guess we'll pick up the gold there. It looks like I can get this gold, so I might as well. Horde of peasants. Not with this army. One thing to note is that I'm not particularly skilled with necromancers. I know that one of the best things to do is make sure that you can save your skeletons and make sure that your stacks stay really, really high for the mid to late games. But unfortunately, I make poor decisions. I'm very bad at maintaining these stacks of skeletons. Let's see if I can do better starting now. As far as the enemy heroes, we've got green, yellow, orange, and I am red. My Kingdom Army strength is not terrible at the moment. My income is the lowest out of everybody. I suppose I have one extra artifact. Well, I don't really know how to read that because this should be... Because I have one artifact. So what? Do these people have 0 and these people have -1? That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Maybe a spellbook counts. Does a spellbook count as an artifact? Interesting question, and I'm not sure because I only have one artifact right now. Precious resources, I'm doing okay on. Gold in the treasury, I'm okay on. I'm low on my wood and ore, especially since my one wood is all tied up, but it doesn't look like anything terrible. Their strongest hero is not particularly tough, and it looks like everybody's starting off with base level creatures, so nobody is starting off with phoenixes or titans or something of the likes. That bodes well for me. I believe that this first scenario for the Archibald campaign is meant to be an introduction for those who did not play the Roland campaign first. I'm going to pick up the statue. Get that early 250 gold extra per day. I always do like getting my statue earlier, just because it feels like if I'm going to get it anyway, and so long as I can get all the rest of my troops in week 1, I might as well. I do think that with 2 power liches, I can take out, probably not lots of archers, but probably these peasants. And next time I need to resupply or I can pick up some stronger units, I'll probably send it's Zam. I said Zom. No, there is a Zom, isn't there? There's like the blue guy that's Zom, and this guy is Zam. I wonder if they're brothers. I wish that they had like little fun facts about me kind of a deal. Ooh, observation tower. That's wonderful. Okay, so we got gems, sulfur, trading post. That's pretty wonderful. Sulfur, ore. There's my ore. It looks like it's undefended. I'm probably not going to be taking out these enemies with Zam, so I will let him go get the freebies. I better get started on the mansion. If I can, yeah, I think I'll have enough time this turn to get my vampires and get the well. I'll not forego the well, especially since I already did get the vampire, or got the liches. The peasants, awed by the power of my forces, they want to run. Am I going to engage them? You mean skeletons that are not yet skeletons yet? Do I want to let them run away from me? No. I will take 5 skeletons, thank you very much. And let's head straight over there. Perhaps, because I need the mansion, so I need the Thieves Guild. That always feels so weird to me that you need a Thieves Guild. But to be honest, the Necromancer overall aesthetic, when the town is more filled up, it just looks better. When it's just a graveyard and just an excavation pit, it just feels kind of blah. Okay, so we see yellow for the first time. I think that was their #1 hero, I think. So I'll be on the lookout for them. Ooh, I'm guessing I'm not going to need pathfinding this game, so I will take mysticism. I don't really have a lot of spells to cast on that. Let's do the view resources though. As you can see, so pretty much all the resources got sucked up, and that kind of alludes to what I believed earlier, especially since yellow came from this way, so I'm guessing someone was over here, and now there's just a few resources dotting that area. So I probably guessed correctly. I should have cast that spell at least 1 or 2 turns earlier to get the full effectiveness out of it, especially since what else was I going to buy? Picked up our mansion. what's probably going to happen is that we're going to stay in our town overnight. Well, there you go. Because we might as well pick up 2 weeks worth of creatures. What's the last building I need to purchase? Absolutely the well. In fact, before I head out tomorrow, I'm probably going to pick up the upgraded mansion. Ooh, maybe not. That's 4,000 gold that I just don't have. That's a pretty big investment, unfortunately. Let's see if Zam can pick up any free resources. Campfire for 500 gold, and then I guess I probably couldn't have reached those this turn anyway. So let's go in. Do I get the vampires now? I think so, and for this reason. The vampires are really expensive to upgrade because the difference between the base level and the vampire lords is 150. So to upgrade them, it's that times 2. So 150 times 2, that's 300 gold per vampire. To upgrade, seems pretty steep. I do have the 2 liches already, so I'm just going to stick with that. I'm not going to pick up mummies. I can't pick up another lich. I'll pick up some skeletons, but otherwise I'll split this stack. I'll make sure that the zombies can guard the liches, and we will go forth adventuring. Let's take out some enemies. 2 skeletons. I won't fight it. Come out regular for that. Again, I'm not going to take pathfinding because I don't think that there's going to be any rough terrain. I will take the luck. I did have a great insight and conversation with Zents about, the value of luck and morale. Of course, morale is absolutely useless for the undead because the undead troops, they don't require any morale. They can't benefit from it, but they don't lose from it. They're essentially like the movie, Night of the Living Dead. The undead just keep going. They don't care if they didn't sleep well last night. They don't care if your girlfriend just broke up with you. They're not going to be sad. They're just going to keep coming, and you just can't stop it. So, the undead can't use morale, but they can definitely use luck. And that is a very interesting thing to think about when you're thinking about, the value of some of these combat stats, the value of some of these combat skills. And it kind of makes you wish that there was a way to get rid of artifacts that you don't really want. Not necessarily just to get rid of them, but to maybe find a way to convert them into some other resource or convert them into some other, into something else that's worthwhile. I'm thinking lots of veteran pikemen. Just for my sanity, I'm going to move these up. I don't have any combat spells. I really wish I did, but I do not. Lots of veteran pikemen for 2 treasure chests. Oh, pack of vampires and gold. I do not think I can beat a pack of vampires right now with this army, and so I will have to come back. That witch's hut is a tome of wisdom. I'm not going to worry about that. Knowing I've got to come back anyway for these vampires, and I certainly will, I'm going to forego the veteran pikemen. I'll pick up nomads, pikemen, and vampires when I come back with a decent sized army. Looks like I am short 2 sulfur, but otherwise I can totally get the laboratory. Or do you pronounce it laboratory? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Tomato, tomato. Era. But if I can get I guess I got 4 days. If I can get the lab in 4 days, that'd be fantastic. I guess I'll pick up from these gem mines and these skeletons. That should be enough to pick up the lab this week. Let's do that. It's weird that I'm raising skeletons from skeletons. I'm not complaining. I'm just questioning how that works. Because, what, are they like smaller skeletons? Like, do they just like change sides? Do I have to like grind the bones down until they're dust, and then like I have to like put them in like a mold or something? I don't know. It's a little morbid. I'm not trying to think about it in that way, but we have questions and they need answers. 3 skeletons. I will take those losses for 5 skeletons there. And pack of iron golems. Iron golems are pretty tough, but they are so slow, and I do have shooters. A point of interest. Do vampire lords do their special ability, their hit point drain, off of iron golems? I would think that, for any kind of golems or elementals that it wouldn't really make sense that you could regenerate and suck their health to regenerate your own health. But maybe that's, you know, thematically, you know, in a world building sense, the answer would be no. But in a game coding sense, I'm guessing yes. Let's fight this fight. Let's not lose 19. So for the first time in the Archibald campaign, we will fight this fight ourselves. I do wish that I could attack ground. That would be very interesting, just so I could hit 2 stacks of units that are close, but not exactly right on top of me. One of the big problems that anybody has with liches is that because they have their cloud attack, you often end up risking your own troops. And so for that reason, being able to attack ground just out off the way, even if you did half damage, would still be very, very nice, just so you could get shots off pretty much every time without fear of damaging your own troops. I will take down these steel golems. They're only a little bit faster than the iron golems, but they'll probably be the biggest threat the soonest. And again, I have haste. Wonderful. Otherwise, I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to get to use the cloud attack here. I do take out one of those steel golems. Aha! I actually like that because that separation allows me to fight the steel golems more on my terms, away from these two enemies. I am going to have the liches attack the grouped units. Just seems like the play to do the most damage you possibly can. I can get a full surround on these iron golems, and I can do that simply because they walked too far away, and I'm not going to take any hits there. I do wish that I had had the zombies already hasted so they could... No, they would not have gotten the first hit anyway, but they should get the next hit. 3 golems for 3 skeletons. Yep, that was actually an interesting deal where they did so much damage that second hit. I'm amazed how many skeletons I've lost already. Perhaps that's just my fate, is going to be to lose these skeletons in mass. I might as well focus down one unit, and actually I'm going to try and save the skeletons. I'm going to pull them back. I think that these troops are tanky enough that they're not going to take any additional damage, at least not lose any stacks, or I lose 1 stack of zombies, and that's kind of an oh well. Unfortunately, I have to skip the liches. I will continue to beat down this one group. And now I'm going to check. 40 hit points, 40 hit points. Yeah, so it looks like the vampire lords do regenerate off of the iron golems. Kind of interesting to note. That actually means that this is kind of cheeky, but that means I can... Did you see that? Oh my gosh, I'm so sad. I actually lost one of my vampires there. I hope I have enough to heal one back, but I don't know. Oh my word. No, what have I done? Okay, nobody do anything. Give these guys a chance. No. You're not gonna kill them. You're not gonna kill them. We're gonna see if we can. I want him back, darn it. How does that work? I've been 40 hit points. Do I need to regenerate a full 40 hit points? I'm guessing I do. I'm guessing I do. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna try it one more time. Last chance for romance. Not yet, because he's doing 5 damage a swing. Oh boy. Wow. That's so terribly sad. I am going to, just for his sake, have him end this fight. Oh, I got him back! I got him back! I got him back! I got him back! Did you see that? Oh boy. Let's not do that anymore. Oh, alrighty. So we did lose 7 skeletons and 3 zombies. I'm fine with that. I think I did worse that time than I did the first time. So be it. But I really did want this Shrine of the Second Circle. A lightning bolt. Fantastic. That was exactly what I wanted. That was exactly what I needed. Let's see. I am generating sulfur, so I should be able to get the lab by the end of the week. Let's take some freebies because they're free. I'm going to leave these war trolls, even if I thought I could beat them right now without any problems. I'm going to leave them just because I've got other things to clear up, and I might as well prevent the enemy from just wandering in and trying to high-five me or something. Okay, we are doing much better, and I am much happier about this situation then. Yep, one more turn, and I'll have enough sulfur. I have enough gold now, but I just need one more turn of sulfur, and that will be a perfect building on day 7. Fantastic. Let's get ourselves our... I wondered why they were guarding that. I thought, are they just guarding the pass? They weren't guarding the fountain. I guess there's an artifact right there. I'll take out those boars soon. I'm going to leave Zam in the town, and potentially I can ferry some troops over to Sandro. I don't think Sandro needs any troops right now. I think he's absolutely got the stack of peasants. I would love to take the advanced necromancy over diplomacy. Why would I want to try and negotiate with troops that are weaker than me, especially when those troops can turn into skeletons? That seems like acceptable losses. 1 skeleton for getting 11 back. That seems acceptable. I don't really have anywhere for... I suppose I can go here for Zam to go. He might as well pick up whatever free resources he can. We'll take the experience there. We'll take the wisdom. I don't know if I'll be getting a mage guild anytime soon, but I might. Point of interest, do I have all of my mines? I do, so I am generating 1 of each resource, so eventually I will be able to get all of my mage guilds at this point, all my levels, should I choose to. I will upgrade the pyramid because there is such a, there's a nice difference. For 50 gold between the royal mummies and the regular mummies, that 50 gold is worth it in the speed and the hit points. So we will do that. And then let's actually go straight through these boars. Again, more luck being better on vampires and necromancers in general, because we don't benefit from the morale. That seems pretty reasonable to me. I guess that's impassable terrain. Yeah, that's got to be impassable terrain. Oh, look at that shot. That's going to be pretty fantastic. We are going to wait on that lightning bolt and just see which one makes the most sense. I'll probably just lightning bolt this bottom stack. I don't know how much damage we'll do. We'll do enough, though. And maybe I should... Tell you what, I will wait one more turn. These zombies, I don't really love zombies anyway. I already have my 6th level creature anyway as well. So they're going to just be a cap on this end. And they're going to make sure nobody gets by. And because nobody will get by, I'll be able to just kind of shoot them a little bit more. And I'm actually going to wait one more turn. I care about zombies that little that retaining them just doesn't feel worth it to me. But after this shot, I'll send out the vampires and I'll send out the skeletons to really clean up as much of this as possible. Oops. I will move the zombies in front of the skeletons so that there will be no concerns about losing more of them. Ooh, that's nice. I pick which tile on a 2-tile creature that I get to shoot. I don't think that was... I feel like that wasn't possible, if memory serves, in the non-F Heroes edition. That's a big deal to me. That's huge. I'll take the expert necromancy, so I'll get the 30% instead of the 20% of troops back as skeletons. I walk across a dry saltwater lake bed. It yields an unlikely prize, a white pearl amidst shattered shells and debris. This is a +1 to knowledge and spell power. Let's go back to Antioch. I guess Zam is not going to be much help as far as ferrying troops, but I was in the neighborhood anyway. Let's get this spell guild level 2. I'm not going to upgrade the zombies because I just don't feel like there's any point to it. They are not coming with me. If the enemy tries to backdoor me, sure, then I'll spend the 1,000 gold, but I can spend it now or I can spend it later, and it makes no never mind to me. Let's buy 2 bone dragons. 2 bone dragons is a fairly good stack for what we got. Let's make sure that we have... Let's buy 1 more lich. You can have... Well, do you want 1 more vampire or 1 more lich? I'll take the 1 more lich just in case I'm running into some enemies that really I just want to shoot down. And for now, I still keep the I keep the regular zombies in my army. I don't love it because they're so slow. They are costing me 220 movement points a day. So for right now, Zam is going to keep them. Yeah, for now, Zam is going to keep them. And in fact, perhaps what we'll do is we'll just have Zam follow right behind Sandro. And every night the zombies will stay with Zam, but yeah, the zombies will stay with Zam, so that way I can move much faster. But Sandro will take them back first thing in the morning. It's like, all right, go stay with that weird uncle of yours. Don't worry, you'll be in good hands. Don't even worry about it. Let's have him step out of the way, and the gold mine's really my priority here. So let's just push past this. We are not going to take a loss on the liches. I don't feel like it's necessary. These are some pretty fast nomads. Speed 6. They're going to go before all my troops. I do have the haste, though. So how about... I think this would be a good time to... probably a good time to haste first. And then next turn, when my liches go first, I will then probably blind that stack. So let's focus on these two stacks, and let's go from there. 13 in a stack is not insignificant by any means. Not insignificant by any means. I'm guessing if I can move the skeletons there, and if the bone dragons are there, these nomads can potentially go up that way. They might even be able to get to my liches next turn. But we will see. Let's blind this top stack, and let's shoot the bigger stack that might damage somebody other than vampires, dragons, or zombies. Okay, that's perfectly fine with me, and I like that we're gonna let our big stacks do the damage. Again, I'm really gonna try and keep my skeletons out of harm's way, because I know I'm really bad at it. So if I don't make a concerted effort to keep them safe, they will absolutely fall in record time. Okay, now we're gonna break this blind. And I don't want the skeletons to take the retaliation. I think the bone dragons will do just fine. The bone dragons still have 78 hit points. 150 hit points is not a ton, but because the bone dragons are so inexpensive, you don't mind losing one here or there. The last scenario we played had the titans, who were so incredible, and they were excellent to hold on to if you could hold on to them. Here, we're not going to be so concerned. I'm not saying that we don't want to hold on to every single one that we can, but we're not going to make it our only goal in life. I think that for 5 skeletons, I'm willing to take those losses. That's still a net positive in skeletons. I'm certainly going to fight this fight against the skeletons when I get the opportunity. And once again, I'm going to take the zombies for now, and we will give them back in the morning. Is there any other building that we really want to purchase? I'm going to ignore the power liches for some time. I don't put a lot of value into power liches. Cold Ring, not terrible. And the Mass Dispel is actually pretty wonderful. It's weird when it's your primary 3rd level spell, because you say to yourself, yeah, I really could have used something that would, be offensive. But Mass Dispel in any kind of late game situation is fantastic, because you're not going to have to worry about mass slow, mass haste, things like that. But I don't put a lot of stock into power liches, just because liches do exactly what power liches do, just so well already. That especially if I have other purchases to make or other goals that I have, I don't worry about it. I think that I'll be okay. They are going to... Okay, so there's this turn order. Me, these vampire lords, my vampire lords, and then vampire, vampire, vampire. It's going to be pretty ridiculous. 5. I'll take out 5 vampire lords. I will feel very comfortable taking out 5 vampire lords, and in fact, I will make sure I destroy that stack. Since there's no retaliation, I might as well fly across the map, and I do believe my shooters are going to take all this damage. Wow. Wow. All right, I see those 97 skeletons. That's fantastic. We take out 2 more vampires there. Yeah, so these liches are taking some damage. The best thing about the power lich upgrade, though, is going from 25 hit points up to 35 is actually tremendous. I did a very poor job explaining my point of view. I shouldn't have attacked. I thought that I forgot it was a new turn of combat. I did a very poor job explaining my point of view in the tier list video I did for the upgrades when I was referring to effective health. When I consider effective health, I look at defenses and health points in terms of, you know, what percent of the damage am I mitigating when I am attacked, right? And so if my defense is really, really high and I'm taking basically 15% reduced damage because my defense skill is, in this case, for 15%, my defense skill being 3 points of defense above the attack skill of whatever's attacking it, you can say that I effectively have 15% more hit points because I'm reducing the damage I take by 15%. So by having the power liches be such a high defense creature already, then we kind of realize that, hey, that extra 10 hit points each means that that high defense is going to go even farther. That was my point that I was attempting to make on effective hit points. I don't think I look back, and occasionally I would prefer to get some of those conversations back and really get my words right. As you can tell, you're generally getting stream of consciousness when I'm just explaining the game as I'm playing. And there's value to that, and there's also some loss to that. It just depends on how you look at it. There we are taking the gold over the experience points because, again, that's Zam. From here on out, unfortunately, I'm going to have to call him Zam, not Zom. Otherwise, I'll forget, and I will start calling him Zom again. Okay, green hero Phineas, just with a few orcs. That's not going to do anything tremendous, but he is going to take that free treasure chest. And as soon as I can, I will want to have Zam, not Zom, go and get my windmill and my magic garden, and he should have plenty of time to make that happen. I do not think, because I have a magic well there, I don't think I need to stay here in town overnight, and I don't think I need to send anyone over to the Oracle here in the bottom left. I think I can just purchase troops. Let me purchase all my bone dragons and all of my vampire lords and see how much money I have left. The answer is none. So I think that this is a great adventuring army. This is going to do just fine. Let's split the stacks of bone dragons. I don't know. Are vampire lords better off split or not? Sure, you can spread around their damage, but then they are less likely to be able to raise numbers of their brethren when they die. So I'm thinking that it's best to keep large stacks of vampires at all times. Of course, there will come a point where it doesn't hurt you to split the stacks. I just don't know where that breakpoint is for vampire lords. And so because I'm not quite sure, I would much rather play it safe and be smart, especially since I'm officially planning on coming on out and doing some damage. I know I'm not... I could lose one bone dragon here. I don't think I'll lose anything else. I might lose some of my 103 skeletons, though. Let me think about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got enough shooters to cover them up. I think that trolls are... I think that war trolls are speed 5. So they'd be the same speed as my vampires. But then green trolls, regular trolls, are speed 4. Yeah, I should be able to do this, yeah, without any losses. Because it would be vampires on war trolls and then bone dragons on stacks. So all of a sudden Phineas is saying to himself, oh, maybe I got a little too close. Hey, friend? And I say, I'm not your friend, pal. And he says, I'm not your pal, friend. And I say, orange player's been vanquished. And he says, it wasn't me. And I say, all right, well, you say so. It looks like I'm not really going to need the trading post, but I'll stop in just so I can save the walking space. We'll take out Phineas. I do defeat him. He does not run. Pendant of Death. So I am immune to all holy spells. That means that there is no holy shout that can affect me. That means that there is no holy word that can affect me. And as the undead, that artifact is making me feel pretty good right now. 4th level Mage Guild, Town Gate, Berserker. Not bad. Is it worth turning around for? I actually think so. I think I'll pick up this 1,000 experience. Because I've got so many levels open, I will pick up the Witch's Hut. No comment. And then yeah, we will pick up as many troops as we can. We'll get those spells going. Since I'm right here, is there any way I can... The resource I'm the lowest on right now is sulfur, and then next lowest is gems. So I'm gonna actually trade 2 ore for that, and then 1 wood for my gems. So now it'll be a couple of turns, but all my precious resources are moving at the same level, and we should be able to finish 2 turns faster. We should be able to get our last Mage Guild 2 turns faster. Take the experience, we'll take the necromancy. I don't really have any plans for him to fight, so I should have taken the pathfinding, even though I don't think that there's going to be any need for it on this map. The smart play is still the other play. Okay, month of the ogre. Ogre population will double. And so we see ogres dotting the map. Thankfully, we just got that gazebo before it was too late. Are they blocking off anything important? No, nothing I haven't already gotten. Nothing I can see anyway. So, let's go back. If anything, that's a good thing, because that's more enemies I can assimilate into my army, which seems fine to me. If I liked this army before, I ought to like it even better if I just pick up only the liches. And I think this time I can keep them alive. They'll be a big enough stack, and I shouldn't have to worry as much. How much is the 5th level Mage Guild? 10 of each? It's just too much. I'm not going to be able to get there, and I'm not going to wait 5 turns. But I might be able to come back with Sandro after I vanquish one other hero. So I see yellow on the board and I see green on the board. I'm guessing that green just took out yellow, or orange. I'm guessing green took out orange. And so perhaps I should focus on them first. The worst thing in the world would be one enemy faction that takes out everybody else, and then they become super strong. I still don't think that they're going to beat me, but let's not dally about. I can't reach him, and so I'm actually going to go into this area and hope that I can find something else. I suppose we've already learned that spell. There's nothing else to do, but I don't want Zam to venture out. I'm going to have Zam hold down the fort. I like that move. That makes me think that they're trying to retreat into somewhere, which I'm all for. Let's fight this fight. Yeah, I don't want to lose 7 power liches. I will lose 7 power liches against this army because, because he's going to be casting lightning bolt on me. As soon as I saw how weak his army was, I knew that, no, I'm going to win, but the reason I'm going to lose the troops I'm losing is because I just can't beat the spells, which is, well, let's kill the slower unit. Here's my thought process, or I can kill the Grand Elves. My thought process is this: if I try and prevent him from running away, taking out the troop that may be his last chance to retreat is a good idea. Otherwise, killing a stack of enemies that's actually going to shoot me in like 1 second, that's probably the better idea. If he runs, he runs. I don't think it's as important in this scenario to make sure that all heroes become unhireable, and that's in large part because in such a small map, it won't hurt you nearly so bad because they don't have the gold to simply rebuy heroes like they did in that other map. We'll take the mysticism there. We lost the same amount of liches regardless. It's day 4, and so I don't mind picking up that gazebo for the additional experience because I think I'll be able to get to whatever castle is there in the Fog of War. Again, I think that there's 1 castle in here, 1 castle here, 1 castle here. If you're looking on the minimap, 1, 1, and 1. I'm probably never going to pick up this ore mine. I could. Okay. Wow, I am not doing a good job of keeping my liches on the field. And I'm sure that there's people right now who are saying, yeah, it's because they are missing 10 hit points apiece. because you didn't upgrade them into power liches. To which I say, ha! And you're right. So, let's see. If I do, just as a point of emphasis, if I berserker someone and they are the last unit, or, well, no matter where they fall on their speed level, if they are a berserked unit, the enemy or the player, if their unit is berserked, they cannot actually cast a spell on their turn. You have no control. The turn just ends. It just goes forward. And then in that way, you just realize, oh, I just kind of lost it. Let's get these Grand Elves. Let's focus on the Druids. The Gargoyles have already gone, and so the Unicorns are not going to be able to attack the Vampire Lords. I am going to sally forth. I'm going to fly over into the area because I don't think it's going to be a problem. I love whenever a unit dies. Look at the hero. Oh, never mind. He didn't do it that time. But generally, the enemy hero will, like, put their hands in their head kind of a deal. So I do lose, again, 6 liches and the 23 skeletons. It's just unavoidable at this point, I suppose. Basically just, or basic ballistics. We will take basic ballistics. And every spell you have, I'm not going to try and upgrade this now, even though I could. I would much rather prefer to have the only level 5 spell guild on the map. Until that happens, though, we're not going to worry too much. I will step out of the castle and buy another hero. Just somebody who can explore a little bit. Does this guy have anything special? No, he does not. We will leave the battle dwarves here in town, but otherwise Troyan will flag the mines and make sure there's nothing I really want. +1 to defense. That could be the difference between 10% of bonus damage being done against my troops, or it could be an extra 5% defense on top of even. I don't think I'm going to worry about that. I think right now I'm a juggernaut who needs to keep rolling. The more time I waste, the more time that the enemies get units that they can throw against me. So let's not worry. Let's assume that this whole area is cleared out. And other than the gazebos and whatever else is covered up by the ogre mages, let's just get whatever's free. Let's stop in at the trading post. I suppose I have enough. Anyway. And I'm not sure. This would be a time where I would actually hope that I wouldn't get an adventuring map 5th level spell, like a dimension door or something. I'll take it. Let's be clear about that. I'm not mad at all. I'm very happy with that. But there is, an opportunity cost. I think that on a small map, even on a small map, dimension door is not bad. It's really not. So I can't possibly lose with that. I'm thrilled to have it. I don't even know, now that I think about it, what combat spell I would prefer at the 5th level. Like, what did you want? Summon Earth Elemental? That'd be kind of lame. Kind of bad. I'm going to move Zam out. Cassandra might as well Town Gate. Just save the movement points. Let's, again, purchase the Bone Dragons first, and now let's purchase the Vampire Lords again. I understand I have only 1 Lich. I just don't think I'm going to be able to keep them on the field. Let's keep our hardiest units on the field and go from there. I will, just because I've got the additional movement points, I will attack these Rangers. If they try and join me, okay, good. If they tried to join me, I would have felt really bad. Could you imagine saying, no, we'll join you, and then you just get absolutely obliterated? Bit sad, isn't it? So, let's pick up, whoa. That was a little strange. Let's pick up this magic well so we are at full as we adventure out. And I'm hoping that there'll be at least 1 more magic well somewhere out and about. Let's see. Sulfur. This Shrine of the Third Circle is covered up. It looks like ogres. And of all the units that, I could potentially farm for skeletons, ogres are one of the worst. They really are. Really a little concerning. I'm going to dimension door my way over some of this. I wish that I could see how far I can go with the dimension door before I click on that. The steel golems want to run. I'm not going to let them. My army is just too strong, just too powerful, and I really want to keep on hustling. I'll take the expert logistics. It pairs so very well with the dimension door. And in case you wondered, can I dimension door into the unknown, into just some fog of war? The answer is absolutely. Sometimes it's inadvisable, but sometimes you don't really care. We're going to park right outside of their town. I think this will eliminate all my movement points, but now I just went from what, here to here? Yeah. If you're that yellow hero, you're thinking to yourself, whatever plans I did have are now completely and utterly broken. So, movement is very, very good to have. Let's see about spells. Wow, there's another mage guild with haste. The truth is out there. We've seen that one before. Hopefully we will see it again, because it's a good one. Let's do the same thing we did before. We've got plenty of spell points, and I don't think I really need spell points to finish this map off. Xanadu, I did have to look it up after we ran across it in, I believe, the second or the third. I believe it was the third scenario of the Roland campaign. It is, you have to be level 10 to enter, and every bit of diplomacy you have above, or every diplomacy you have will bring it down by 1. So basic diplomacy means that instead of being level 10, I can be level 9 to enter and get its benefit. So the best I can do is have max diplomacy and be level 7, and I can still enter in and gain +1 to all my stats. The butler admits you to see the master of the house. He trains you in the 4 skills a hero should know. +1 attack, +1 defense, +1 spell power, +1 knowledge. Yes, I get all of them. Luna is a tough hero. I don't think she's going to be that tough, though. Oops, that's the opposite of what I wanted to do. I'll accept it. Lightning Helm halves all damage from your troops that you take with spells. Skull Cap, Gambler's Coin, and 12 skeletons. Let's take on Dimitri. No losses, no problems. And yellow has been vanquished. The last enemy, I believe, is just over here. Probably right in this area. Let's see if anybody moves, because the idea at this point is kill anything that moves. When you're a necromancer, that is always a good strategy. And hope nobody backdoors you, because you don't want to lose a town just because you weren't doing a good job of defending it. So this is flagged green. I'm thinking it's got to be right here, doesn't it? Like somewhere right here? Aha. I will use one last dimension door so I can take this town right now. And the 22 skeletons, not a big loss. And now green has been vanquished. So I did not get the opportunity to take out orange myself. I did get the opportunity to take out yellow and green myself. That should be the scenario.
Excellent work.
Yes, it was. And so all my enemies have been defeated. That was Archibald's campaign, Scenario 1. Again, Scenario 1 is a little bit of a cakewalk, especially after all the battles that we've been through together so far. So we are going to be on to Scenario 2 next time. I am excited to continue this campaign. I'm excited really to see the intros, because again, maybe that'll paint a portrait that says that maybe Archibald was more of a misunderstood guy as opposed to just this comically evil. Okay, I can't do it. He's just evil. He's just evil, and there's nothing we can do about it. Folks, I appreciate you being with me. I'm looking forward to finishing this campaign as well. But in the meantime, let's take a break. I'll see you here next time. My name is FixFox, and I am out.